Have you been frustrated by the fact that you go through all the work to make toolpaths, set everything up to cut just the way you want it, and then you can't take those toolpaths and use those either on the other side of a project or on different sheets, and now you have to go through and reset all of that? Well, that's all changed with the 12.5 update in the Vectric software for vCarve and Aspire. Let me talk about what a great change that is and how easy it is to implement with this new update in this video. By the way, if you're not familiar with who I am, I'm Rob Sandstrom, and I like to teach digital tools, I'll call it software, tools that run from computers, such as CNCs, lasers, and 3D printing. With that, let's get going. And if you like what you see, don't forget, while the video's on, go ahead and like, comment, share, and subscribe if you want to learn more content like this. Prior to the 12.5 version of the Vectric software, the only way you could copy tools to the other side of a project, in other words, from the front to the back, or to another project, was through using several workarounds. There are videos out there on how to do that. If you would like to see how you do that, if you have projects before version 12.5, let me know in the comments, and I can make another video showing that, but that is old news now. How do we do it today? Well, if you had a project like this one right over here on the screen that I'm pointing at, and you wanted to take and change this to a different environment, like make these frames go in the long direction instead of cutting in the wide direction, and just released a video on that process in the last couple days. So if you want to see that, go ahead and check that out. Let's go look at what I'm talking about. I'm going to change over to the 2D view, and you can see that I took all of these various vectors and I transferred them to another sheet that I called long version. So if I click on long version, you can see that sheet. When we look at the toolpaths, let's look over here at this sheet. There's a new way they've set it up. So when you're looking at toolpaths, you can either look at all sheets, one sheet, or the other sheet. So this is the long version, this is the wide version. And the one where the toolpaths are, if I select it, are on the wide version, and you'll notice they are not on the long version. So let's go back to the wide version, and let's talk about how I can now take these toolpaths and put them on the long version sheet. What they haven't done, and what I hope they do in the future, is to be able to select these and take all of the toolpaths over there at one time. Right now, the only way to do it is go by a selected toolpath. So in this case, selection is by the shading. So I can right click on that toolpath that's shaded, and I can say copy to the other side if I wanted to copy the other side, or copy to a sheet and I want to copy it to the long version. And then if you want to see it copied, go back over here to all sheets. And now you can see this red signature up here. That means it hasn't been actually calculated. It's only been transferred over there as a copy. So we want to do the same thing now with the frame profile. I'm going to come over here, hit copy to sheet, long version. I'm going to hit the alignment. I'm going to right click, copy to long version. Now I'm going to switch the sides of the project. I'm going to the reverse side of the project, and we're on all sheets here. So I'm going to come over here and the rabbit, copy to long version, alignment, copy to long version. Now that I've got all of the toolpaths copied over, let me flip this back over to the top side. Not critical, I could do each side by itself. And we're going to switch over to the long version. I'm going to come over here to the sheets, pick the long version. So now we're on the long version sheets, and you can see that these all have the red symbols, meaning that they're there, they've been copied, but they haven't been calculated. So now if I open up the molding profile, which is the first one of the things I want you to notice is how the toolpaths are looking already calculated. For the most part, they haven't been calculated, but this is how they're set up. And the reason they got set up like that, because we took the time to put all of the various vectors for the toolpaths on different layers. And because we use layers, which makes it very cool, and of course, when I did that, I took this apart. So we're going to start again here. We're going to go like here, and we're going to use open vectors, associate with toolpath, drive rail, molding, calculate. And now we have that toolpath calculated. Let me hit close, and I'll show you that here. So now if I open up the frame profile, because I have the selector automatic, if you zoom in here, you can see that the frame profile shows up here. And if I hit calculate, you can see that the frame toolpath started its process of calculating and will start now. So now that I have that done, the next one I'll go over here, and you notice the red mark goes off them, is to go to the alignment. Don't come back over here and select these things, or you'll have to set it all up again. Hit calculate, hit close, and we've got all the toolpaths for the long version for the top set up. Let's roll it over to the back. Now I go to rabbit, automatic, calculate, and you can see the toolpaths propagated. Now I'll go to alignment, double click, everything's on automatic, calculate, Hit close, and you can see the alignment holes recalculated right there. And so now let me go back to the top again, which is probably the most interesting. And we're going to preview both sides. So I'm going to preview all sides, and that will show us how well these toolpaths lined up without having to re-establish each toolpath. It's that straightforward. And let me flip this over so you can see the back. So that's the front, and that's the back, the rabbet, everything's in place. And this thing is ready to cut on your CNC without having to go reestablish all the toolpaths. What a great change. It's been wanted for a long time. And now the only thing I want to see is for them to take those toolpaths, and instead of having to do them one by one, is to be able to batch copy. I hope you found this helpful. And if you did, please comment, like, and share to get this video out there to others so they can learn from it. And if you like what I'm covering in my channel with this software tutorials, go ahead and you do what you need to do, and that is subscribe and hit the all bell, and that way you'll get notified for future videos. With that, have a great day.